Hello, spiritual warriors. This is via Temple of Becoming. And I survived ritual abuse and mind control, repetitive ritual abuse and mind control as a very young child. This did not leave marks on my physical body, but it did cause extreme fragmentation. In fact, it's designed to create dissociative identity disorder. And I suffered from this for the first part of my life, pretty severely. And, statistically speaking, I should have attempted to unalive myself several times at least in this lifetime. However, and this might sound shallow, but I didn't, because I held on to this desire to create wealth, to build wealth. And I also held on to a desire for power and control, control over my reality, to get my way, So I've always been a spiritual person. I've always been very intense. And I started working with some very focused yogic disciplines in my early 20s, I practiced a form of meditation called dhyana yoga. Dhyana yoga. What this is a formless meditation where you go into your third eye, you just focus your attention right here, and you go into a realm that's beyond everything, where nothing is created nor destroyed. It's like the void. You go beyond the beyond. And I practiced this for around 5 years. And ultimately that teacher, Shiva Bala Yogi, led me to my former guru, who I would work with for 13 years, Amachi, the Hugging Saint. You might know about her. And she teaches really simple right-hand path practices. Bhakti, devotion, seva, selfless service, this type of thing. Very simple, but very effective. And if you commit to it as a practice, as a yoga, you can really ride it as far as you can ride it. Take it as far as you can take it. This is my recommendation with any practice. Take it as far as you can. And I did. And I practiced for years. I practiced a lot of right-hand path yogic disciplines and initiatory systems, including Christian mysticism through A Course in Miracles. And what ended up happening is that I couldn't get the healing, the deeper healing that I needed from the light and love paths, Yes, it took me far. Yes, I did get healing. Yes, I did get some awakening, powerful gnosis, etc. But I needed the really raw, primal, intense, dark, and ancient initiatory systems, some of the most ancient systems known to humankind, I needed that in order to truly melt the walls around my heart, around that were holding me back from my power, And if you're interested, by the way, if you're interested in learning about these specific initiatory systems, definitely follow my channel for more. Follow me on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And you can also go to templeofbecoming.com, go through the door of the temple, virtual temple, and you will see a bunch of content there for members. We offer membership at a very affordable monthly rate if you are hungry for that, That's where the content is that's not meant for the public, So go there if you want to go a little deeper. So this is what I needed to do in order to really melt the walls around my heart and around that were really holding me back from my potential. And what I realized is that even though I had been safe from my abusers for years, because fun fact, the program they put me through as a very young child, I was basically a toddler at that time, the hypnotic drugs and the techniques they used on me couldn't keep me unconscious, couldn't keep me asleep, kept waking up. So they just stopped the program on me and they just said, they just left me alone. So I was safe for a long time. I wasn't continuing to be around them throughout my later years, But I was still a prisoner of the programming. I didn't even know how deep the roots went, the commitment, to being walled off that I had. I didn't even know how deep it went. The light and love stuff couldn't get to the deeper roots of these walls in me. And I had this concept of, if I can just, never feel emotions, never feel vulnerable emotions, and if I can just always get my way and control my reality at every turn, that will make me happy. That's my power. I didn't even realize how much I held on to that that concept. I didn't even realize how much I was perpetuating in myself the messages my abusers had told me, that I would never be loved, that, God had abandoned me, that I was evil, and that there was no salvation or liberation for me, and that I might as well just, do what they tell me to do, because that's all there is for me. There's no liberation, and that's all lies, by the way. But that lie of, you will never be loved, that I was told, I was continuing to tell it to myself, y'all. I was committed to this. I was so fucking committed that I held on to that for way longer. I didn't even realize how deep it was in my subconscious until I started working with some of these darker, more primal initiatory systems. And finally, those were actually what I needed in order to melt the walls holding me back from what? From joy, from being able to receive love, true intimacy, sustainable intimacy, okay? Not the kind of thing where I had this pattern of push-pull relationships and I'd date people who, had red flags and I just didn't see the red flags, and then, oh no, why do I keep attracting the wrong person? That's what I was doing for years, okay? I was able to heal that. I've been able to heal that, let go of that pattern, and now I can actually date from a secure attachment place. I've healed a lot of the relationships with my family that had been broken by resentment, miscommunications, misunderstandings, lack of connection, because I struggled to connect on a deeper level with anybody, even myself. And, I've gone through healing friendships, I have healthier friendships now. All the work that I've done to essentially melt the walls that I thought I needed to hold up to be powerful, that was a lie. That was a misconception. That was a misunderstanding that I had. True power is being able to truly receive on a sustainable level joy, passion, love, real healthy intimacy, connection, every emotion, to be able to just feel every emotion and have the capacity, the digestive system, if you will, to receive anything, to feel anything. Empathy and true acceptance of reality, whatever reality chooses to be. Now, if I don't get my way, I'm just as happy. I mean, I might have feelings about it, but I don't lose my center anymore. I don't lose my center of gravity. I don't lose myself to triggers. I don't lose myself to the lies that I used to tell myself and go back into a spiral. I don't have to do that. Am I perfect? Am I perfectly healed? No, but there's a huge amount of progress I've made. Huge. I mean, it's night and day, So anyway, the point of the story is, if I can free my mind from the matrix after what I went through as a kid, if I can do this deep of a level of healing and liberation and liberate myself from essentially the curses, the toxic messages that were implanted into me, which, by the way, are also in movies, TV shows, music videos, the news, social media, these kind of messages of oh, just don't feel, just numb yourself out, take a drink, take a smoke, don't feel that emotion. That's, ooh, no, we don't do emotion. Oh, intimacy, healthy love. Oh, no, that's weak. All these things it's like a similar flavor, of what I was put through as a child. It's the exact same roots of that, If I can heal this, if I can free myself from this type of matrix programming, you can do it too. Never give up.